Greetings. You have landed at Words Move Poetry. I am Ruby Body, and it's a pleasure to be talking poetry again with you today. This video is titled PM Mia Mottley Makes Melanated Moves, and it is intended for you to make a connection between that topic and Cardi B's popular song, I Make Money Moves. I don't think that Prime Minister Mottley would object to the link, because she has shown her appreciation for popular culture by giving special acknowledgement to Rihanna being Barbadian herself. So I thought that that would be a nice nod to both popular culture as well as what is happening in Barbados. Barbados has recently made the transition from independent island to a republic. They did that on the 29th of November, and that in itself is such a huge step in the development of the island, and we congratulate the government and the people of Barbados. A couple days after the 29th, the Prime Minister held a press conference where she announced exciting plans for the island. She talked about building a heritage economy. And some of you may know that Barbados was one of the first slave economies in the Western Hemisphere. We talked about that. You can go back a few videos back and you will see that we talked about that some time ago, going back to the 1600s. Barbados has records showing the development of the plantation style economy, plantation slave economy, up to the 20th century. So it is something that the government of Barbados has decided brilliantly to parlay into an asset that would benefit present day Barbados. So we congratulate Barbados on that. The center of the plans, as announced, is a special memorial which would be designed by Sir David Ajaye, who is a British Ghanaian citizen. He also was the architect for the Smithsonian Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. So this is, it is just through the roof. I am so excited about it. I'm sure every single Bajan, every single Caribbean person, every single person worldwide feel so proud of the possibilities that these initiatives would hold for Barbados. So we can't congratulate Barbados sufficiently. One of the facts that I learned was that in 2018, Barbados appointed its first poet laureate. Esther Phillips is her name, and I congratulate Miss Phillips on being appointed as poet laureate. And in the context of what is happening now in Barbados, Miss Phillips, in one of her poems, she says, "Oh, my ancestors, so late for me to unwrap layer by layer the gift of your silence." I would put the link to the interview with Miss Phillips where she read part of that poem, and I would myself plan to search for the full text of the poem. I don't have the full text of the poem. I just heard the opening lines that were read by Miss Phillips, and I'm already so excited to read the rest of the poem. Yes, we're talking about poetry, we are talking about people, we are talking about development, we are talking about power. From the very first video, we stressed the point that poetry is power, and embracing poetry gives us an entry into our power. As a Caribbean person who is proud of the steps made by Barbados, I would like to read a poem that I started to write early in November, long before I knew about all the plans and so on that have been unveiled. Just a couple days ago, I was thinking about the Caribbean. I was thinking about how I wanted to celebrate Christmas through these videos, and I started to write this poem. I have named the poem The Wailing Wall of Newton. And keep in mind, Newton is the location of the slave grave that Barbados unearthed in the 1970s. Some records say that there were found about 570 bodies, remains of slaves that were brought from Africa to Barbados at that burial site. I pause. It is so moving just thinking about it. So this is for Barbados. This is for the Caribbean. I have inserted some of my own experiences as a Caribbean citizen coming out of Trinidad. So I hope you enjoy it. A Wailing Wall for Newton. A peck of pickled pepper and cutteridge make me pray. Hail clarity. Hail sound mind in fear of safety. Long-term memory lost in a bramble. Imagine rambling over Peter Piper picking peppers for pickle. Mind's door creak. Keys cut on colonial content to celebrate liberation therapy late. We lived wisdom knows scorpion pepper better, though lost agency fails to steer corroded synapse to native solution. Kader, Peter all up in there, concocting rue and ruse with luck, we may escape a mind block. Recall, some never could. Diddled their way, belly crawled through isms and schisms from for queen and country who escaped. Island migration served bent dreams. Indentured neighbors daydream of Maharajans loving Kalaloo and Cuckoo. Diwali jingled, rainbow bracelets jangled elbow to wrist. Hips marinated in Delhi summoned extra beats, whining to calypso before singing a bhajan. Following Tajas in St. James, Muslims break from Bible lessons at Presbytery. They knew thoughts were worth more than a penny, and so walked in silence, belief and conversion animated an industry. No exception, Trinidad, Kingston, Newton. To whom does it matter if islands lead the world in salvation? Conquistadors left a trail of hosts. How well they knew the fate of ghosts. Don't mean to confuse, not intentionally anyways. Ninny's speculating about Queen's English makes clearer the preference for Taja's pretty. Corpus of descended servant slaves dancing life-sized sacred mausoleums, resurrected identity at Jose. Standing on ancient ritual, the faithfully paraded ancestor houses. In the end, fresh water rose, receiving colorful jetsam, imagery recalling Nina, Pinta, and Razak. What a twisted plot. Help, once settled at El Socorro, still scream for help. We wait, but don't know that pain never needed a definite article. Tajas and metal drums, reinventions. Sounding complicated? Madre mios. Still can't stand the memory of plunderers, but love the role of ours. No need to say it. A confusion of identity. Remember Babel? Upside down, we can draw the oppressor. Downside, we know the other better. Decades of unlearning helped a tad, but Mirue and Kush seems so secondhand to a black girl born on the wrong side of the Atlantic. History is archaeology. 570 preserved in a slave grave. Prove it. Our collective consciousness pants for a wailing wall at Newton. So much bitter to unlearn. Forget by and by. So much sweet to meet in the now and now. Imperial powers and collaborators left us clueless. Not done. A .com promises to mail wikis to we. Them say they'll come in plastic bags. Not read. So I hope you enjoyed A Wailing Wall for Newton. That's the end of our video for today. Please go to the description below and look at the links that I have placed. You will get so much history, so many facts. I'm sure that you'd be pleased. If you have any comments, please put them in the comment section below. Once again, I thank you and I wish you a happy week ahead. Peace out.